All of them, all of them looked extremely dirty. They weren't civilized at all. So he imagined that he thought that he needed to have this kind of shower. He needed that so much. He needed that a lot. Okay, and after that, what happened? After that, what happened? Here, what happened here? Hmm. Anyone knows? Like, would you like me to ask you questions? Do you remember what happened here after that? So they kept moving, all the boys kept moving. For sure, they left Peggy and the children there, right? Did Peggy join them? Was
Yeah.
Peggy with them or he was with the kids?
What with the little nuts?
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah, he was with the children. Yeah, why?
Because he have only one eye.
He had, yeah, because like he was almost blind. And who suggested that Peggy should stay with the kids? Who suggested that? It was Ralph or Jack? Who said that Peggy should stay with the children? Who said that? Was it Jack or Ralph?
Jack.
Ralph, no, Ralph. Because when Ralph said Biggie should stay, Jack said that, yeah, you would like to keep him safe as always, right? He said that, no, like be logical. How could he help us with one eye? So it was Ralph who suggested that Biggie should stay with the children at the beach and other kids should, like, go up the mountain in order to chase the beast or to see the beast. So all of them, they left. And here we have, like Ralph kept daydreaming about his previous life and about his current situation. And then Simon speaking almost in his ear, like Simon here, if you see Simon assured him, said that you will get back to where you came from. Like, don't be afraid. You will get back to your home. You will be back home. Like here we have different question. How could Simon know that? And why Simon said you and he didn't say we? Simon here didn't say we will get back to where we came from. Like Simon and Ralph, apparently both of them belong to the same city. Both of them belong to the same country. So why do you think that Simon didn't say we will get back to where we came from, and he said you will get back to where you came from? Why didn't he say we? Anyway, like Simon nodded as he spoke, and he was kneeling on one knee, looking down from a higher rock. And then Ralph was puzzled and searched Simon's face for a clue. Like Ralph wanted to know why Simon said that. Like, did he have any kind of evidence? Like, why he is that sure? Like he said, it's so big. I mean, like Simon nodded all the same. You will get back, all right? I think so. Anyway, he said that I know that you're going to come back, to go back, all right? You'll be okay. You'll be safe and sound, and you will return home. Some of the strain had gone from Ralph's body. He glanced at the sea and then smiled bitterly at Simon. He said, got a shape in your pocket? Like, do you have a shape in your pocket? Like Simon smiled and shook his head. He said, how do you know then? Simon was still silent. Ralph said curtly, you're a batty, like, you're crazy or you're silly. He said that, no, I am not. I just think you will get back all right. For a moment, nothing more was said, and then they suddenly smiled at each other. So here we have Simon acting as a good friend, trying to relieve Ralph. And after that, like Roger called from the covert, like, and he said, come and see. The ground was turned over near the big run, and there were droppings. You know what does droppings mean? Droppings. You know droppings? Do you know the wastes of an animal? You know the animal's wastes?
Yes.
Yes. So like here, Roger saw the waste of a pig. So it means that there was a live animal there in that place, in that spot. He said that Jack said, Ralph, we need meat. He said that like it seems that there is animal near them. So if they were able to see its wastes and the wastes are like, were still fresh. So it means that the animal is very near, was very near. So they needed to hunt such kind of animal. Like, and Jack said that we need meat even if we're hunting the other thing. He said that, yeah, we know that we're looking for the beast, but even we need meat. If you mean going the right way, we will hunt. He said that. So they set off again. The hunters bunched a little by fear of the mentioned beast, while Jack west ahead. Like Jack now, remember this, Jack was at the beginning, like, he took the head. Like, remember this one, because this one will like enable us to to see what will happen later. They went more slowly than Ralph had bargained for, yet in a way he was glad to lighter. I said that lighter means to walk very slowly, cradling his spear. Jack came up against some emergency of his craft, and soon the procession stopped. Ralph leaned against a tree, and at once the daydream came swarming up. Jack was in charge of the hunt, and there would be time to get to the mountain. So now here we have Jack acting as a leader, and while Ralph is just daydreaming. You know, daydreaming? You know what does daydreaming mean? Daydreaming.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sarhan.
No, yeah, very good. Absent-minded. He was thinking about what happened to him in the past. He thought about his daddy and his mommy. He thought about, like, his home and, what was he doing before bed and, his books and so on. You see, so all this page, like, Ralph is daydreaming about his previous life, civilized life. So, like, before bed, like, when he went to bed, there was a bowl of cornflakes with sugar and cream and the box, and then he is going to explain all the books, describe the books that he was reading. And then, like, here we have the bushes crashed ahead of them. Boys flung themselves widely from the big track and scrabbled in the creepers, screaming. Ralph saw Jack nudged aside and fall. Then there was a creature, like a big or a boar, bounding along the big track toward him, with tusks gleaming and intimidating grunts. So the animal was attacking them as well. Ralph found he was able to measure the distance boldly and take aim. With the boar only 5 yards away, he flung the foolish wooden stick that he carried, so it hit a great snout and hang. Yeah, now here we have like Ralph himself participated in the hunting. Ralph himself, he was also trying to hunt the pig. What does it tell us about Ralph? What does it tell us about human beings? Like, seriously, are we angels? Are we angels?
No.
No. So even Ralph, the one who's supposed to civilize, to represent civilization, even him, he had this kind of desire to kill. Believe it or not, in every single human being, we have this kind of desire. Not necessarily for sure to kill another human, but to kill an animal. Do you know that some people go hunting only for fun? Do you know that? Do you think if you were in a situation like them, would you be that kind of civilized and you would say, no, I will never try to kill any animal? No, you will try to kill any creature in order to stay alive, right? So this part teaches us something, regardless of how civilized the person is, like, we have this kind of desire in deep side, like deep down in every single person of us. Even Ralph, the one who, as I told you, the one who represents civilization, felt really happy when he was trying to hunt an animal. You see, like, he was happy. He said that, yeah, but just, at that time, were they able to kill the hunt? To catch the hunt, to catch the pig? Were they able to catch it? No. So even you see here, Ralph, they couldn't. Ralph, despite that, Ralph was full of pride. He was afraid, apprehension, fear, and pride. He was proud of himself. He felt, oh, I am a man now. If I'm able to kill, it means I'm a man. Like, Jack is not stronger than me. I hate him. So Ralph said, I hate him. The spear stuck in. Now they came unexpectedly to an open space by the sea. Jack cast about on the bare rock and looked anxious. He's gone. Like, he refers to the animal. He said he's gone. He ran away. Ralph said again, I hate him. And the spear stuck in a bit. He felt the need of witness. Ralph, needed someone to, to be his witness. He wanted someone to say that, yeah, you were right. Like, you were right. You were brave. You hit him, yeah. So he said that, didn't you see me? Like Morris nodded, I saw you right bang on his snout. Whee! Ralph talked on excitedly. So what do we see here? We see Ralph himself was turning into a savage. Like, he's not civilized anymore. He was extremely happy and proud of himself because he tried to kill the pig. He said that he kept repeating, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. He kept saying that. He stunned himself in their new respect. Yeah, stunned means he felt warm. And then now they respected him even more and felt that hunting was good after all. Like here, like again, it emphasizes the fact that every single human, can be a beast. We can kill. Like, yeah, you don't have to kill. Like, have you ever killed anything in your life? Like an insect, for example, an insect, even an ant, a butterfly, a cockroach. Like, you have never killed any animal in your life, any insect even in your life?
Horse.
You killed it? A lizard? You killed it?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So how did you feel after killing it?
Nothing.
Didn't you feel like proud of yourself that you weren't afraid?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I do agree with you. Like sometimes when you feel empowered, when you feel that you're able to kill other creature, like, you know, to indicate how strong you are, like it happens. And especially when it comes to men, especially when it comes to young men. Do you know in Japan, for example, like, you know, young boys, I think at maybe 13 or 14 years old, they have to kill dolphins, I think, in order to prove that they were men. Do you know that in Japan? I'd like you to Google this one to know if it's right or not. But what I heard in Japan, like 17 or 16 year old the boys are supposed to kill dolphins, you know, dolphins. So by doing so, they prove that they could be strong men. Do you know about it? Okay, I just like to make sure now. Just a second. Like here. Like here. Let's say men, young men killing dolphins in Japan. Yes, you see here this one. So what I know, like in Japan, like, you know, they have to do this in order to prove, yes, it's true, by the way. Yeah, this is true. Like here, in order to say that you look at us, we're like, you know, we're big now, we're like, you know, we're strong now, we're able to be men now, to prove that they were men. Like they said back here, look at the sea, look at the sea, it's bloody, it's all of blood. It's blood. Like, why do they do that? Because they don't do that because they're hungry or they need the meat or so. No, they do that only for one reason, to prove their manhood, to prove that now they're men enough, they're grown up enough, believe it or not. And this is happening, this happens in Japan. Now, I'm not speaking about, like, you know, a savage African country. I speak about Japan, like, you know. So it happens in Japan, it happens in Japan. So anyway, Ralph had this kind of feeling. He felt excitedly, he felt like that he's now respected and so on. And he said that that wasn't the beast, that was a poor. So here's that I hate him. So like Ralph told him, why didn't you grab him? Grab means catch. So now Ralph told Jack, why didn't you catch him? Ralph's voice ran up like, what about, like, Jack flushed suddenly. Jack felt embarrassed because it seems that he's not good enough or he's not strong enough. He said, like, you know, what did you want to throw for? Why didn't you wait? He held out his arm. Look, you know, he said that, like, Jack told him that, you know, the boar or the pig hit him in his arm and he was wounded and his arm was bloody, like there was blood in his arm. So it seems that he was attacking him. That's why he couldn't catch him. He couldn't catch the pig. He said that I couldn't get my spear down in time. He did that with his task. He said that he attacked me with his tasks, you know, the task of the animal, the horn of this animal, and I couldn't get my spear down in time, so he couldn't catch him. Attention focused on Jack. That's a one, said Diamond, and you ought to suck it. Like, you know, Berengaria. Like Jack sucked it, like, you know, in order to, like, don't know, like, in order to, like, remove the blood. I hate him again. Jack said that. Ralph said that again. I hate him. I, like, maybe this is the sixth time he said that. I hate him with my spear. I wounded him. Like now it seems that Ralph, like, was thinking that Jack was much stronger than him. And when he started to hate the big, he wanted, like, this kind of emphasis from boys that he was also strong. So he kept saying, I hate him so many times. And he was trying to get their attention. Ralph was trying to get their attention. He was coming along the path. I threw like this. And here, starting from here, something happened. What happened? Yes, something happened here. What happened here? Who can remember? What happened here? What did they do later on? Like here, what did they do in that part? What did they do?
They tried, they picked Robert.
Excellent. Yeah.
Really like a pig.
Yeah. You know, like they acted as if they were hunting a big again, right? And this time Robert was acting as if he was, or as if he were the pig. Robert snorted at him, like Robert was acting as if he was the hog or like the boar or the pig. So Robert, who had mock rushes, so big or Robert acted as if he was the big, and all other children or all other boys, like, you know, made the ring according to Jack's instruction, and they kept move in and around. Robert at the beginning squealed in mock terror, like, you know, he was like acting as if he was terrified, and then in real pain. He said, "Oh, stop it! You're hunting." So literally, they were taken away by the degree that they were about to kill one of them, like one of the boys. Like, see here, they started even to hurt him, like, hold him. They got his arms and legs. Ralph, carried away by the sudden attack, grabbed Eric's spear and jabbed at Roberts with it. Kill him, even Ralph. So that all at once, Robert was screaming and struggling with the strength of frenzy. Jack had him by the hair and was brandishing his knife. So now I'd like to imagine the boys trying to kill one of them, thinking that it's just a pig. They were playing, it was just fun. So they start saying like, kill the pig, cut his throat, kill the pig, bash him in. Ralph too was fighting to get near, to get a handful of that brown, vulnerable flesh. The desire to squeeze and hurt was overmastering. So all of them were mastered by such desire to kill someone. Jack's arm came down, the heaving circle cheered and made big dying noises. Then they lay quiet, panting, listening to Robert's frightened snivels. He wiped his face with a dirty arm and made an effort to retrieve his status. Oh my bum, like he rubbed his arm. Briefly, Jack rolled over. That was a good game. Like, seriously, was it a good game?
No.
Is it a good game to act that you're killing someone?
No, of course.
Of course not. Of course not. Like, we're human, we're not animals. He said that just a game. Ralph said that just a game. I got really badly hurt at Roger once. He said that just a game. Like, Ralph, like, somehow agreed, but not totally agreed with him. He didn't agree totally with him. So we ought to have a drum. Morris said that, no, we need a drum and we could do it properly. Ralph looked at him. How properly? Like, in order to play this game correctly. I don't know. You want a fire, I think, and a drum, and you keep time to the drum. Roger said, you want a big, like a real hunt, like not a human. And Jack said, or someone to pretend to be an animal. You could get someone to dress up as a pig, and then he could act, pretend to knock me over and all that. So Jack said that, no, we don't need like a real animal. Like one of us can pretend to be an animal, dress like an animal, and act like an animal. Like Robert said, no, you want a real pig. Like, Robert, because he was acting as an animal and they were about to kill him. He said that, no, because you've got to kill him. He said that, no, because in the game you have to kill the animal. So like Jack said here, and everyone laughed. He said that, okay, use a little one. He's a child. Use a young child as an animal. So it tells us that Jack wasn't a real like leader. You see, Ahmed? Jack wasn't a real leader. Yeah, I agree with you that like at certain points he was able to assure them, especially when they were afraid. And this is a very good characteristic of leaders, to be able to assure their people. But Jack is totally irresponsible. Like the children are the same as like people, people. Public, subject.
Yes.
People. What does people mean? I'm not speaking about people
What?
as persons. لا, people معناها الشعب. يعني young children, these young children represent the public or represent the people. يعني بيمثلوا الشعب. فالمفروض القائد الحقيقي بيهتم بمصلحة الشعب اللي هم ضعفاء. الشعب عموما ضعيف. ما هواش politicians، ما هماش سياسيين، ما هماش قادة، ما عندهمش أصلا أي باور. الشعب ما عندوش أي باور. هو بيشتغلوا كل واحد بيصرف على عيلته وخلاص. لكن هم مش عندهم قدرة إنهم ياخدوا decision for the whole community. ما بياخدوش قرارات، especially in in these countries which are not democratic. الدول اللي ما فيهاش أصلا ديمقراطية، democracy, people do not have any power. So in this story, the little ones or young children represent the public. بيمثلوا الشعب. Leaders are Jack, or like the people in power are Jack or Ralph. Sometimes, mostly speaking, Ralph and Jack and other biggins, like other big boys. They represent like politicians. بيمثلوا السياسيين. So when Jack says, in that case you can use a little so that we can kill him, احنا ممكن نقتله كمان، فمعناه انه اصلا irresponsible، ما عندوش مسؤولية ابدا. You see, so Jack can never be a good leader, and we will see what will he do. He will be a leader today, by the way. Jack will be a leader today. We will see what would he do to be a leader, and what was the reaction of others, and what will, like, after being a leader, what would he do? You see, we will see what will he do. Anyway, but just my point is, I do agree with you, like that Jack was good when it came to assuring the others and being brave and so on. But as you see here, like this one, he is totally ready to use a child as a pig in order to kill him, because he didn't care about children. For him, children are useless. يعني بالنسبة له الأطفال ما لهمش أي فايدة. Why? Because they can't hunt, and they can't build shelter, and they can't do anything. They keep crying all the time. So seriously, what do you expect from a 6-year-old child? يعني توقع أنت تتخيل إيه مش طفل عنده 6 سنين. What do you expect from him? What do you expect him to do? Do you expect him to kill an animal? He's very young. So anyway, well, let's start. So what happened after that? Who read that part? What happened after that? Ralph sat up. Well, we shan't find what we're looking for, that trait. So now here, Ralph had a suggestion. What was the suggestion of Ralph? You read it, that? Amr, you read this story? You read this chapter?
Yes.
Yes, very good, Amr. Ahmed, you read it?
Yes.
Yes. So now I'm asking all of you. Alina also, I know that Lina told me that she read it. What did Ralph suggest here? Ralph suggested something. What did he suggest?
He suggested to go back to.
Excellent. Yes, very good. Ralph suggested going back. Like he said, now it's getting dark. You see now? Well, we shan't find what we're looking for at this rate. One by one, they stood up, twitching, rags into place. Ralph looked at Jack. Now for the mountain. Shouldn't we go back to Biggie before dark? So the twins nodded like one. Like now, like Ralph also had this suggestion as Morris, now it's getting dark. So what is the use of going chasing a beast in darkness? So he said that's right. Let's go up there the mountain. Ralph looked out and saw the sea. We've got to start the fire again. He said that let's go back and let's start the fire again. We haven't got Biggie's pick. Like Jack said that we don't have the glasses of Biggie, so we can't. You can't. Then we will find out if the mountain's clear. Maurice spoke, hesitating, not wanting to seem a funk. Supposing the beast is up there, he said that, okay, what if the beast was on the mountain? Jack, as always, he said we will kill it. Like Jack was always brave when it comes to killing. He said we will kill it. The sun seemed a little cooler. He slashed with the spear. What are we waiting for? I suppose, said Rolf, if we keep on by the sea this way, we will come out below the bronze bit, and then we can climb the mountain. Once more, Jack led them along the suck and the heave of the blinding sea. So again, Ralph, as I told you, Ralph was tired and he wanted someone to take the lead because for some time he didn't want to think. And again, while Jack was taking the lead, Ralph again started daydreaming. He started daydreaming, looking at the island, and again, for sure, he didn't totally forget about the beast, but he was looking at the island, and here we have a detailed description of what we were seeing, you see, and the greenery and the sea and the ocean and the creepers and everything here. He was looking at meditating the island. He was meditating the island. And here we have they tried the forest, but it was thick and woven like a bird's shrieking. They tried but the bird's story, the bird's nest, and the ends he had to jump one by one, waiting till the water sank. And even so it was here the journey was really tiring. The journey was very tiring. It wasn't that kind of easy. They have to go up and go down. They have to climb. They have to wait until the water is less and so on. So here, and we have to wait in order to let the rags means the clothes dry, and watching the clipped outline of the rollers that moved so slowly past the island. They found fruit. They found the fruit in a haunt of bright little birds that hovered like insects. Then Ralph said they were going too slowly. He himself climbed a tree and parted the canopy, and he saw the square head of the mountain seeming still great off. So he said that we're so slow. He thought them to be much faster, but they were very slow. And if they kept moving that way, it will be very dark soon, and they won't be able to see the beast. Okay, so and even one of them, then they tried to hurry along the rocks, and Robert cut his they tried to be faster, but Robert cut his knee quite badly, and they had to recognize that this path must be taken slowly if they were to be safe. So when they tried to hurry up, Robert cut his knees. It doesn't mean he cut off his knees. No, it means that he injured his knee badly, so they had to be slow in order to be safe. So they proceeded after as if they were climbing a dangerous mountain until the rocks became an compromising cliff, overhung with impossible jungle and falling sheer into the sea. Ralph looked at the sun critically. Early evening, after tea time, at any rate. He said that I don't remember this cliff, said Jack, cast crestfallen. So this must be the bit of coast I missed. Lord Ralph, let me think. By now, Ralph had no self-consciousness in public thinking, but would treat the day's decision as though they were playing chess. Now Ralph was trying to take decision as if he was playing chess. But the problem is that he wasn't a good chess player. He didn't play chess well. So imagine he didn't know how to make a decision well. You see, he didn't know that. He wasn't a leader before. He had never been a leader before in his life. So like now he's required to take a lot of decisions. So for him, like now as if he's taking a decision as if he was playing chess. His problem is that he had never been a very good chess player. He thought to the little one and Biggie, vividly imagined Biggie by himself huddled in a shelter that was silent except for the sound of nightmare. Now he expected Biggie with the children in a shelter and there was no sound except nightmares, like children crying. Yes, so now, like now Ralph thought, said, we can't leave the little one alone with Biggie. He said that not all night. He said that the children need someone to be with them, and Biggie is not enough to be with them. The other boys said nothing but stood round watching him. If we went back, we should take hours. He said that, but if we returned, we will take hours to return back. Jack cleared his throat and spoke in a queer, like strange, tight voice. We mustn't let anything happen to Biggie, must we? What does it mean? What does it mean? Who knows? Like Jack said that, like here, like he said, we mustn't let anything happen to Biggie, must we? Like, what did Jack mean? What did Jack mean when he says that? When he said that, what did he mean? Hmm. Who, like Jack thinks what about Biggie? Does Jack love Biggie?
No.
So what about Ralph? Like, Jack always thinks that, Ralph was trying to defend Biggie, right?
Yes.
So now even Jack here, when when Ralph said that we can't leave the little ones alone with Biggie, Jack replied, yeah, you mustn't let anything happen to Biggie. Like, you need to protect Biggie. Must we? Like he says that, yeah, we need to protect Biggie, must we? Right? So Ralph tapped his teeth with the dirty point of Eric's spear. If we go across, he glanced around him. Someone got to go across the island and tell Biggie that we will back after dark. Ralph said that we need someone to go to Biggie and stay with Biggie to tell him that we will back after dark. Billy spoke, unbelieving, through the forest by himself. Now it's getting dark. You would like someone on an island, extremely dark island, to go alone in the forest with a beast, because they were 100% sure there was a beast. Alone?
Yes.
Yeah, he said that through the forest by himself now. We can't spare more than one. Ralph said that we can't leave, we can't spare. We need all of us. So we can't spare more than one. Whom do you expect would offer to go?
Simon.
Simon.
Oh my
Excellent.
God. Yes.
Yes. Simon, yeah. Simon pushed his way to Ralph's elbow. He said that if you like, why Simon? Why do you think that he would, he would volunteer to go? Why do you think that?
Because he loves to stay alone.
Excellent. And he's not afraid of the forest, right? He was not afraid of the forest. He used to be in the forest alone in the clearance, meditating alone. You see, so Simon pushed his way to Ralph's elbow. He said that I'll go if you like. I don't mind, honestly. I can go. Before Ralph even had time to reply, he smiled quickly, turned, and climbed into the forest. He ran quickly. He turned away and he left them. He was not interested in whatever they were doing, and he was interested in staying alone, with himself, meditating in the clearance. So Ralph looked back at Jack, seeing him Jack now is furious for the first time. Jack, that time you went the whole way to the castle rock. Jack glowered. Yes, you came along part of this shore, below the mountain beyond there. Yes, and then he said, I found a big run. I went for miles. So the big run must be somewhere in there. So Ralph was talking to Jack to know where he went and what did he see, and in the past, and they were trying to reach conclusions. Ralph nodded. He pointed the forest. Everyone agreed sagely. All right, then, we will smash our way through till we find the big run. He said that, okay, we will keep moving till we find the big run. He took a step and halted. Halted. What does halt mean? Halted. Halted. What does halt mean? He took a step and halted. What does halt mean? Halted. Stopped? Stopped?
Yes.
Yes, stopped. So he took a step and then he stopped. He said, wait a minute. Where does this big run go to? The mountain. I told you. Don't you want to go to the mountain? Ralph sighed, sensing the rising antagonism. What does antagonism mean? Antagonistic. Antagonism. Is it good or bad?
Bad.
Bad. Antagonism means hostility. Hostility to be someone's enemy. So now Ralph and Jack, like right now, are antagonistic. They're like, they're enemies. We know that from a long time ago. Like a long time ago, we knew that they were against each other. And even Peggy told Ralph that Jack even hated him. You see? So now he started to feel like Jack was like angry and furious because he's not that he wasn't the leader. And Ralph was trying to take decisions. So he said that, I was thinking of the light we would be stumbling about. We were going to look for the beast. He said that Ralph, now he said that I think we will be stumbling about. Like we need light. We need light. We shouldn't go in the dark. We were like, Ralph said that we were going to look for the beast. He said that there won't be enough light. Ralph, the sound of mind. He said that there won't be enough light. I don't mind going. Jack, as always, said that I don't mind going. He said hotly, I'll go when we get there, won't you? Would you rather go back to the shelter and tell Biggie? What is happening here? Amr, what's happening here? What is Jack trying to say? What is Jack is trying to hint? Like he's trying to say what? Like imagine now we have the leader and Jack is telling the leader, telling Ralph, I don't mind going. It's okay for me. I can go in the dark, and I'll go when we get there. Once you said that, would you prefer to go back to the shelters and tell Biggie? What does he want to say?
Ralph loves Piggy.
Yes, yeah, like he was trying to tell Ralph that he was, coward. Not only he loved Biggie, but just like him that you're afraid and you're coward and you're a coward and you don't like to go up because you're afraid. Like you tell them if you like, you can go to Biggie and tell him. Like he was trying to tell him that you're not a good leader at all, and like I will go there because I'm a good leader. I'm much better than you. And if you like, if you prefer, you can go to the shelter and stay with Biggie. Remember, they didn't respect Biggie. Despite the fact that Biggie is science, but they didn't respect Biggie. You see, so now it was Ralph's turn to flush. Like now Ralph felt embarrassed and he said that out of the new understanding, like, because like Biggie told him, he said that, why do you hate me? Ralph is telling Jack, why do you hate me? Like now, like, why do you hate it not much? Like, and then the boys turned uneasily, they looked at each other and then the silence lengthened, like everyone kept silent. Ralph, still hot and hurt, turned away first. He turned away and he kept moving. Why? Because he felt like his dignity was hurt. Like he injured his own dignity. Like in front of the others now, like Jack is trying to say that he was frightened and he wasn't good as a leader. So he kept moving on despite the fact that he knew it was a wrong idea. It wasn't a good idea, but anyway, he kept moving on. He led the way and set himself as by the right hack of the tangle. Jack brought up the rear, displaced and brooding. The big track was dark tunnel, for the sun was sliding quickly toward the edge of the world, and the first shadows were never far to seek. The track was broad and beaten, so that they ran along a swift trot. Then the roof of leaves broke up and they halted. They stopped, breathing quickly, looking at the few stars that pricked around the head of the mountain. There you are, the boy peered at each other doubtfully. Ralph made a decision. Ralph said, we will go straight across the platform and climb tomorrow. Again, Ralph took this decision. We can't climb the mountain now, we have to climb tomorrow. All of them agreed. Most of them agreed, except but Jack. But Jack. So Jack didn't agree. Like they said there, like it seems logical. If it's getting dark, how could we climb a mountain in the darkness in order to face or to fight a beast, and you don't have enough weapon? So at least if it was lit, if it was during during the day or in the morning, it will be okay. You will be able to see what you are fighting with. But it's at night and they were extremely tired, so they agreed except Jack. So Jack was standing by his soldier, said that if you're frightened, Ralph turned on him. Who went first on the castle rock? I went too, and that was daylight. All right, who wants to climb the mountain now? You see this one? So again, every time Ralph wanted them to stop in order to continue in the morning. And by the way, we're going to discover that this decision, like, Jack decision or like Ralph's decisions to continue despite knowing that it was the wrong decision, would result in very bad problems, in very bad consequences. We'll see what will happen. So in a way, like Jack was always trying to attack, to insult Ralph, saying that he was frightened. And Ralph, if he were wise enough, he wouldn't have listened to Jack. He would have stopped, but he didn't stop. So again, he said that he wants to climb the mountain now. Silence was the only answer. No one. Sam and Eric. What about you? We ought to go until Biggie. You said that, what, we're going to go to Biggie. We're going Biggie. Simon went. Yes.
They're making excuses because they didn't want to go up.
Yeah, everyone is afraid. Like now I'd like to imagine this situation. You're not at home. You're not trying to go in a city where there's a lot of lights. No, like they're trying to climb a mountain in the darkness. It's extremely dark, and it is not even enough. Like, usually speaking, they were afraid of darkness. Even before the beast, they were afraid of darkness. They were afraid of being alone in darkness, if you remember. So at night they go to the shelter. They went to the shelter in order to have, like, some rest and sleep. They were afraid to go in the jungle on their own. The only one who was not afraid of the jungle, and the first was Simon. But all of them were afraid, and all of them slept in the shelters. Now they're supposed to climb a mountain in the darkness, and they were expecting a beast at the top. So it's really scary. Like, I mean, like, it's very scary. You see, so now like you said, that who wants to climb the mountain now? Like, they didn't want to climb the mountain. So they spoke about the seminar, Sam and Eric, the twins. He said that, what, we should go to tell Biggie. Yes, tell Biggie that, yeah. But Simon went. He said that no, you shouldn't. Simon went already. He said we ought to tell Biggie in case. Like, he said that, what, who knows, Simon was able to go there. Maybe Simon was eaten in the way. Maybe the beast attacked him. So we could go. Like, the point is, they were trying to find an excuse, and not in order not to climb the mountain, in order to stay away from them. He said that Robert, Bill, they were all going straight back to the platform now. Not, of course, that they were afraid but tired. Yeah, it says that all of them were were trying, like, returning back, not necessarily because they're afraid, but they were tired. Yeah, they have to be tired. Yes. Ralph turned back to Jack. You see, I'm going up the mountain. The words came from Jack, viciously. Jack, this is stupid, Jack. The stupid Jack. Now, like, he said that, what, I'm going up the mountain. As though they were a curse, he looked at Ralph, his thin body tensed, his beard held as if he threatened him. I'm going up the mountain to look for the beast now. Then the supreme sting, the casual, bitter word coming. Yeah. So now Jackie tell them, I don't care about any one of them. You see, from this aspect, Ahmad, you can say Jack is good. I mean, like, he was brave. We can't argue that Jack was not, yeah, he was brave. Like, even when everyone left, he didn't leave. He said that I am going now. Coming, it means, are you coming? He was asking Ralph. The point here, if you were Ralph, would you go with Jack, or would you say no? If you were Ralph, like, now I'd like to imagine if you were Ralph in this